guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I have a very informational one. I'm going to be showing you guys how to apply your eyeshadow, how to blow it out, smoke it out, but mainly the more basic eyeshadow look that almost every girl can do. I'm not going to be showing you guys eyeliner, mascara, foundation and all that because obviously this is just going to be on eyeshadow. If you're a beginner, you're gonna love this video, but if you're a person that already knows how to apply your eyeshadow and you pretty much know what you're doing already, you might not want to watch this video because it might get a little boring. You're gonna pretty much be like, tell me something I don't know, you know? So, but yeah, if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to apply your eyeshadow and you want to just know where to start and stuff like that, then please keep watching. Alright guys, so the first thing I already went ahead and did is my brows. Just to get them out of the way, I just used some eyeshadow to fill them in and I used some concealer to clean them out. So now I'm actually going to get started with the application on my eyes. The first thing you always want to do before you start any eyeshadow application is prime your eyelids or add some kind of base to your eyelids that's going to help your eyeshadow stick to your eyes. Now there's a difference between primers and bases. So a primer is going to be something like this one that I have here. This is the Lorac. I don't remember exactly what kind of primer it is. I'll list it up here somewhere, but this primer is pretty much just going to help my eyeshadow stick to my eyelids. And it does have a little bit of a color to it, like a little bit of a white tint to it. It's gonna help your eyeshadows look more vibrant and stick to your eyelids. So this could be one thing. Another thing can be a base like this one. Hold on, like these NYX jumbo pencils right here. This one is one of my favorites that I always use. It's the shade Milk. So it's this one right here. As y'all can see, it's very stark white. And what it's gonna help do is take your eyeshadows, like pink eyeshadows or purples or, you know, very vibrant pastel-y colors. It's gonna help them stand out, or like if you want a bright shimmery shade, anything like that, it will help it stand out. Or you can also use concealer. You guys know this is something I always love to do. I like to use my Master Concealer in the shade Light Medium. And that's what's up here already. I used a little bit to clean my brows and I had some left over. So I'm gonna take the rest of that concealer and apply it on my eyelids. And I'm just gonna be using the Morphe MB25 brush. It's like the perfect brush to blend out the concealer. And I like to use a concealer that's at least 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. It just helps brighten up the eyes so much more than using just a normal skin tone concealer, if y'all know what I mean. So once you have your primer on or concealer or whatever you're using, you always want to use an eyeshadow to set it. And what I mean by setting it is just taking your powder or eyeshadow and just pressing it on the concealer. That way it doesn't settle into your fine lines. Normally your concealer likes to settle in the crease area right here because that's where it folds, you know, to open your eyes. So you always want to add some kind of eyeshadow or powder to set it. So you can use something like this one from my chocolate bar right here. You can use one like the one I have here from my Natural Matte palette that I love. Any just white based eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using this one. This is just my favorite one because it's so brightening, like it's very pigmented. So I'm going to use this fat brush from Eco Tools. It's a fat shader brush. I love this, you guys know, because it just does the job so quickly. It just packs the color on and I'm ready to go. So now that you have your base, you are ready to apply your eyeshadows. And before I start even applying my eyeshadows, I just wanted to tell you guys that brushes are a big deal when it comes to eyeshadow application. They are just very important in your collection. So I feel like you should always invest in a good set of brushes. My favorite brand of brushes, I would say, is the Sigma brushes brand. I love Sigma brushes. I've been using Sigma for years and you just can't beat the quality and the price. They are very comparable to MAC brushes, but you guys know MAC brushes are like an arm and a leg for one brush. So Sigma brushes are way more inexpensive and the quality is still there, and if not even better than MAC brushes. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is applying my transition shade, which I'm going to be taking this eyeshadow, which is Creme Brulee. I'm going to be using a lot of Makeup Geek eyeshadows because I feel like Makeup Geek eyeshadows are one of the best eyeshadows right now in the industry, and I love them so much. So the first shadow I'm going to be taking is Creme Brulee. And for your transition shade, you always want to use an eyeshadow that's very close to your skin tone or a little bit darker if you want to. Creme Brulee is very close to my skin tone. This is why I guess I love it so much. If you're a person that's more darker, more medium toned skin tone than me, you can use Frapee, which is this one right here. As y'all can see, it is a little bit darker. I love both of these. I always mix them all the time because I feel like it just makes the perfect transition shade as well. But today I'm just gonna use Creme Brulee, and I'm going to be taking my E40 blending brush from Sigma. I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit. To apply your transition shade, you always wanna use a fluffy, round brush like this one. This is just perfect for transition shade. It's nice and fluffy, and it'll spread your transition out like a dream. This brush is like $16 from Sigma, so I did find a cheaper alternative. This brush right here is from Morphe, and as y'all can see, it literally looks almost the same. And this brush is $6 only, and you could buy it at morphebrushes.com. I'll leave all the links down below where y'all can purchase these. The only difference when it comes to Morphe and Sigma brushes is the quality a little bit. The Sigma brush is a little softer than the Morphe brush, but they both do the same exact thing and they work very well, so yeah. So I'm gonna be taking a little bit of the eyeshadow. When you're doing your crease shade, you always want to start with most of the product out here. Do it in back and forth motions just like this. Start at the outer part and then bring whatever is left inside. So what I'm doing here is just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I like to hold my brush kind of like straight, not up, not down, just straight into the crease right there. And you always want to pay attention to the way you are holding your brush. If you do this and you're blending your eyeshadow, you are applying way too much pressure and your blending is not going to be as nice. If you hold your brush out here more, you're adding less pressure, and it'll be so much more seamless when you're blending, sorry. So I'm just doing this. When you're applying your transition shade, you don't have to be so precise because this shade has to be all up in here. As long as you don't get the eyeshadow up in your brow bone or all over your lid, it's perfect. Just do it right here. Don't think too hard when you're doing your eyeshadow, guys. I feel like a lot of girls sometimes, like, they're thinking so hard that they have to be so perfect, and if they don't do it so perfect, like, they're messing it up. No, when it comes to your transition shade, it really doesn't matter. So I already applied one layer, and now I'm gonna apply another layer. I want it to be very saturated, so that's why I'm applying another layer. Most of the product out here, and then just bringing it in. So back and forth, and you can even do like little swirly motions like this. Just like that, and then back and forth, and just like that you have applied your transition shade. So next you want to apply your crease shade, and what this is gonna do is add dimension, and it is gonna be a little darker than your crease shade. So I'm gonna be using Cocoa Bear today just because I'm obsessed with Cocoa Bear. I love Cocoa Bear so much. As y'all can see, I already hit pan on this. Oh my god, it's so sad. So for your crease shade, you want to take a brush that's smaller than your blending brush that you used at first. So let me zoom in more. This right here is the E40, the one I just used for my transition shade, and this one up here is the Morphe M505 brush, and as y'all can tell, this one is just a little bit smaller than this one, and that's what you want, and it is more tapered. This one's more rounded and flat, this one's more tapered and pointy. That's what you want for your crease shade. That way your crease shade doesn't go everywhere, just like your transition shade, if that makes any sense. I also have this brush here that I started using recently, and I love it. It's from Isabella Phantom. You could use something like this as well. I love this brush because it's a little bit smaller than this one actually, but I kind of love that about it because it's even more precise. There's also the E35 Sigma brush. I love this brush as well to blend in my crease area. So yeah, it's whatever you guys want to use. Today I'm going to be using the Phantom, Isabella Phantom brush because it is smaller and more precise. So I'm going to be taking Cocoa Bear. So this is really going to help define. So I like to obviously start with most of the product out here like I said before. And I like to kind of lift my eyebrow a little bit like that so I can really see what I'm doing. I like to look straight into the mirror and then just follow that natural crease right there. And you want to keep it kind of above the crease right here, into and above the crease. And using little windshield wiper motions just like that. And then out here, just little back and forth, little strokes. This is your little socket right here, and you really want to intensify that socket right there. This is your outer V. I like to just cover up the whole outer V with my crease shade and the socket here, and then bring it in right here. I hope this is making sense, you guys. I'm trying to be as educational as I can. My eye does get a little bit hooded right here, so I like to just kind of take my eyeshadow out a little bit more out here, and it kind of elongates it and makes it seem like if my eye is a little longer or wider than it is. My eyes are very small, so I like to use techniques like these to make them appear a little bigger. And again, just back and forth motions. So when it comes to your crease shade, you always want to keep it below your transition shade. You still want your transition shade to peek through, so don't bring it all the way up there. Just kind of keep it straight into the crease and blend it out. Once you applied your crease shade, go back with your blending brush, the fluffy brush I used first. Take a little bit more of that Creme Brulee shade and blend out everything. And with this, you can go up a little higher because it is Creme Brulee, so it doesn't matter. And just blend it out. If you take a fluffy brush and a lighter shade and always go back and blend after every step you do, this really helps the blending process so much easier, like appear so much easier. So again, I'm gonna be taking Creme Brulee and I'm gonna be doing my other eye just real quick. Start with the most product out here and then bring it in. Be gentle when you're blending. Try not to press so hard, because the harder you press, the patchier your eyeshadow is gonna look. And then now I'm gonna do my crease shade. I'm taking Cocoa Bear again. And again, starting out here with most of the product and bringing it in using little strokes, little windshield wiper motions. Bringing it into the outer V. And then taking a little bit more of Creme Brulee, blending out with my E40, just so there's no harsh lines.
Mommy?
What, son?
I love you.
I love you too. So after that, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my lid shade, which is this area right here, and I'm also going to be applying my brow highlight. For your brow highlight, you always want something that's going to stand out and be more brighter, and you can use something matte and you can use something sparkly, whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and use something more shimmery, I guess. I'm going to take my chocolate bar palette, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here. It's a beautiful pinky frosty shade. It's shimmery actually. It looks very pretty. And I'm going to take this eyeshadow brush, which is the Isabella Phantom brush. This one is nice and flat, as y'all can see, and it's nice and small, so it's going to get in there and not get the product everywhere, because you want to keep it mainly in that brow bone. So your brow bone is mainly going to be right under your brows, literally. So you take the eyeshadow and you take it right under your brow. And bring it in right here. And that's it. So again, taking it and applying it right under your brow. With the same little shader brush, I'm going to go ahead and apply my lid shade. There's so many shader brushes out in the market right now. Like, you can go to the drugstore and get an e.l.f. shader brush for like $1, or this e.l.f. brush as well. This one's from their studio line, and this one's $3, I believe. So you can use any shader brush that you want. I'm just going to keep using this one that I have here, and I'm going to be taking this shade from my chocolate bar palette, which is the shade Marzipan. It's such a gorgeous champagne shimmery shade, and I'm going to be putting some on the brush and then taking my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set Spray. I like to apply this when I want my eyeshadows to look a little bit more metallic and more bright. So now I just want to place this on the lid area. When you're applying your lid shade, you want to stop around your crease area right here where you see that little fold right there. That's where you want to stop. Sometimes girls like to go a little over their crease to make their eyes appear a little bigger. It's really up to you. I like to just keep it in the crease right there. And then stop right here, because you're going to put eyeshadow out here anyway. So you can just stop right here. I'm going to add one more layer. So again, I like to dip my brush into the eyeshadow and then spray it one time. And then apply it to this side. I'm just gonna go back with the crease brush that I had, the Isabella Phantom one, and I'm gonna blend around the lid shade that I applied just so there's no harsh lines. And the last thing you want to do is define your outer V, which your outer V is this little area right here. It's like a little V shape right here. You don't have to do this step, you can skip this step, but I love to define my outer V area because it just gives way more dimension to my eyes. So I'm gonna be taking Mocha from Makeup Geek, and this is darker than Cocoa Bear. This is darker than Cocoa Bear, and that's why I'm using this one. I'm gonna be taking the same crease brush that I used earlier. Or you can use like a pencil brush, like, let's see, like this one. You can use a pencil brush like this to do your outer V. You want to be a little bit more precise. So I'm going to take the eyeshadow and just start right here and fill in your little outer V right here. So I'm just taking it and filling it in just like that. And remember, I like to take mine out a little bit right here. If you have hooded eyes, that's a great technique. Always bring your eyeshadow out more right here. So a great thing to do to always make sure that your eyeshadow is nice and blown out and smoky looking and not like jaggy or anything. You apply one layer of your eyeshadow and then go in with a fluffy brush. I'm using the M505 brush, and then just blend it out. And when you're blending it out, just keep the brush right there. Don't blend crazy, just blend right in that area. And then take your brush again, dip it into the eyeshadow, and add another layer. If you apply and blend and apply and blend, your eyeshadow is gonna look so much better, trust me. And always remember to shake off the excess product, because that way you won't have too much eyeshadow when you apply it. You apply just enough. And just like that, you add and you blend and you add and you blend. So I think that should be good for now. Now I'm going to do the other side real quick. And just blend it out. And place it on there. And blend. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is apply my eyeliner and my mascara and just pretty much the rest of my face on, and then I'll be back to show you guys how to blow out your lower lash line and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I just finished applying the rest of my makeup. Now I'm going to be doing the under eye area. So for the under eyes, the first thing you want to take is a brush like this one maybe. Let me zoom you in. So these are the kind of brushes that I like to use. You don't have to take the angled flat brushes. There is like flat definer brushes, but this is what I have. I don't have the other one. So anyways, this one here is from Mary Kay, and this one is from Equal Tools. It's a cheaper alternative. So I guess I'll just take this one for now. I'm gonna be taking the eyeshadow that I used for the outer V, the one that I used out here, which is Mocha. You always want to start with your darker eyeshadow to do your under eyes. So I'm going to take a little bit on the brush, and what I'm going to do is start pressing the eyeshadow very close to my lash line, just like that. And I'm going to stop around here, right where I stopped on the top. I'm going to stop right here, about halfway. And I'm going to add a little bit more. You can intensify it as much as you want right now. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same to the other eye. So next what you're going to do is take a more pencil brush like this one. And I'm going to be taking Cocoa Bear, which was my crease shade. And I'm gonna blend out that Mocha shade so I don't have any streaky lines. You want it to look nice and blown out. So I'm just gonna take it and blend it out. And the reason why you want to go in with the darker shade first and be more precise with it, because once you blow it out with this Cocoa Bear shade, you're not going to have like a dark rim around your eyes and it won't get too low. It'll be nice and smoky, and the darker will just stay closer to the lash line. And then blown out with the lighter shade. So now I'm going to brighten up this part right here, and I'm going to be taking the same Marzipan eyeshadow that I used for the top part of my lid. And taking this little brush, it's nice and small, you can use a small brush. I'm just going to be applying it right there on the lower lash line. I'm just bringing it in. Then I'm going to be putting my inner corner highlight, which is this little area right here. And the reason why you want to apply your inner corner highlight is to really separate the eyes and brighten up that inner corner, make it look more awake. And I'm going to be taking this eyeshadow that I used as my brow highlight. And I'm going to be taking that same little brush and apply it in the inner corner. Then I'm just going to take my mascara. I'm taking the Best Lash Extreme Volumizing Mascara. I'm going to be applying a layer of this on my lower lashes. Alright guys, once you're done putting your mascara on, this is going to conclude the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope y'all learned something new. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it and if you learned something new. And if you want me to keep doing videos like these, more informational and more into detail with eyeliner or anything else, go ahead and vote up here in the screen and just let me know if you want it or not. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye!